Welcome back to Beyond the Beat. My name is Dave McKenzie. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Grateful Dead tune, Friend of the Devil. It's a classic Jerry tune. He used to pick it all the time. He picked it in so many different ways on so many different projects. The one we're going to look at today is the version off of American Beauty, which is maybe their best studio album. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, ask us any questions you want. We'd be happy to get back to you. All right, guys, I'm going to break this song into 3 different sections. The first section is going to be basically just the verses and the choruses. They sort of go hand in hand. And the second section is going to be the bridge. And the third section we're going to touch base on a little bit is the solo section that Jerry shared with David Grisman. All right, so let's get right into it. Friend of the Devil by the Grateful Dead. Okay, guys, so this is the main riff. When the song starts out, it just does this riff over and over again, and then the singing comes in. And then for the remainder of the song, it just loops this little riff where it goes, this is the main sort of verse riff. That gets looped over and over again. And what that is basically, in a nutshell, you're just going down the G major scale backwards. So you're hitting your open G string, and then your F sharp here on the D string, E note on the D string, open D, 3rd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, open A, and then low G. And that's just it, like a... That does it again, right? Now there's a little bit more picking going on when there's a little lead-in note, and you sort of pick up on your G string, and then down on the D, 2nd fret on the D, and that's the sort of pick-up lead-in part. So, you'll notice that I'm sort of strumming over these 3 strings, the D, the G, and the B, and I'm just doing little strums while I'm playing the scale. So every time I play a note, I do a little down-up strum on these 3 strings. Just so you understand, this is the D, the G, and the B string, and that makes a G chord when you just play those strings open on your guitar. So the whole riff sort of follows the G chord down, and then it follows the C chord for the second part of the riff, right? And we're going down from C back to G. So you've got this C chord, and then C with a B, C with an A, and then back to the G. So it's G chord, C. You could strum G, C, and that's where most of the song sort of happens. And then it sort of it plays through that twice when they sing it. And then it goes into the D chord, so I'll sing it. I lit out from Reno, I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep that night until the morning came around. And then it goes into the chorus, where it just alternates basses on the D chord, where you're hitting open D string, and then A string. So you're hitting D, down, up, A string, down, up. Does that 4 times, and then it goes to the A minor chord, and then it hits A open, and then E open. You could alternate up to the E too. D, A, D, and it stays on the D chord for 2 measures. All right, and then it sends you right back into the verse. So here's the whole thing. the start. So that is the main section of Friend of the Devil. You can basically get away with that. Okay guys, this is the bridge of Friend of the Devil. It happens twice in the song, all right? And so I'm just going to start right at the bridge. So it starts on a D. I'm going to play it through, and then I'm going to break it down for you. Sends you back into the verse, right? So what's happening here is we've got, it starts out on D chord for 2, 3, 4, and then D, 2, 3, 4, and then C chord, 2, 3, 4, C chord, 2, 3, back to D, 2, 3, 4 again, D, 2, 3, 4, and then A minor, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, D, 4, and then D, 2, 3, 4, D, and then it comes back into the tune. So it's a little bit weird. There's a little extra measure of 2/4 at the end. It sounds a little bit odd, and it's kind of what's cool about the bridge. So all you're doing over those chords is you're just doing this alternating bass note deal here, where you're hitting the D string, and then you're doing a down-up strum, and then you're hitting the A string. And that sort of keeps it moving. Bass, down, up, 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 bass. And then it goes to the C chord, and the bass notes that I use are C, down, up, and then I switch to the G, the low G note. C, G, C, C, G, back to D. Basically, you know, in a nutshell, again, how you play the bridge for Friend of the Devil. Things to, you know, do would be to just practice with that section, maybe find the YouTube version of the American Beauty version and slow it down to half speed, and then play along with it until you get it, all right? All right, guys, so this is section 3. It's basically a repeat of the verse and chorus, but it's very special because it's a it's the solo, and it wouldn't be a great Grateful Dead song if it didn't have a solo. Something unique about this in particular is that Jerry has David Grisman, who's not a member of the Grateful Dead, sitting in on the tune playing mandolin. That's the mandolin player. They had a long time sort of friendship, and before the Grateful Dead played in jug bands around San Francisco. But so Grisman's sitting in on the track, and what's cool about this is they're soloing together. So, and you'll notice that Garcia's guitar is turned down, and he really plays second fiddle to Grisman, which is really special because it's a real nice song to pick over. And I thought that was very generous to let Grisman shine on this very important song on the album. It was really special. So all that's happening is they're just sort of, the band's plunking along, and they're riffing over the verse, right? And they're just sort of playing out of the chord. It's kind of a jazz way of playing, where you're soloing out of the chord. Like here's a G chord, right? So you've got your scale all around that G, right? So you've got your G chord for a whole measure, and you can sort of play out of that chord and scale, and then it's the C chord for a measure. And, you know, you'll just listen to it and you'll hear Jerry plunking away and Grisman doing all these beautiful little melodies over it. And then they play over the chorus too, right? Where it goes to the D. You can sort of play all kinds has a nice riff. So we'll get into maybe a different version of this song for the guitar solo at some point. There's just, I feel like the tastiest versions of this tune are this one, of course, on American Beauty, but then my favorite probably is on Dead Set, which is 1986 sort of live album that they released as a studio album, but it was really a live album that they did. And then the other great one was on Garcia Grisman. Later, it was a nice acoustic version, but really there are countless great versions of this song. So the solo is beautiful because it's guitar and mandolin. At the same time, listen for it, and let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think Jerry was playing well, or if he wasn't. Anything that you sort of want to know about, I could probably answer in terms of this particular tune, because it's one that's dear to me. So hit subscribe, hit the like button, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy.